Okay. So, good morning. I'm pleased to welcome Dr. Atul Mohod, Professor in Dapoli. He is an expert in solar as well as in processing, in drying, many areas. We are happy to have him. Dr. Atul, we have students from third year because it's the first time they are starting the agriculture engineering in TNAU campus again. Kumulur is already having, but TNAU they started again after stopping it for almost 25 years. And this, there are some masters and PhD students also. So basically, this is to introduce the new technologies, and they are very keen. The professor requested me to about solar panels and solar pumping and what type of activities also. So I think your talk will motivate the students more to work on practical problems in the field. Dr. Atul, the floor is yours.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Audible?
Yeah, very much audible.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Shall I share the PPT directly?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Hello. My screen is visible,
Yes.
sir?
Yes, visible. Clear.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
There might be some disturbances from my side because of the heavy rains in Dapoli. Right from the morning. I hope my screen and sound is both are clear to the audience.
Very, very clear.
Thank you very much, sir. Good morning, all. Dear students, you are enough fortunate to have such a training for the BTech Agriculture Engineering, and it's my pleasure to be a part and parcel of this training, and I want to share my experience as well as another sector which is in front of the agriculture engineering and having a very good future for the basically for the agriculture engineers, and that is the solar photovoltaic, which is a future power option in India, and we have to put our footstep, and for that keeping the footstep firmly, the basic requirement of a knowledge of electronics circuitry and the control system is very much essential, and you are enough fortunate. That's why I say you are enough fortunate. You are getting such a training, hands-on training regarding the electronics, then control systems or Arduinos or the integration of the system under the guidance of Dr. Ismail sir. If we look at everyone knows we required a power which is to be a clean, cheap, secure, and most importantly, that is the timely assured, and that too for the 85% and more small and marginal farmers in India. We are focusing in this session, we are related to, or we are focusing on the agriculture particularly, which is a power is the major vital component in the farm mechanization. And if we look at the mechanization level, till it is a 40% only. From 1970 it is 0.29 kilowatt per hectare. Last year or in this year it's around 2 kilowatt per hectare, and it is expected that if we want to grow at the same rate, then it required more than 2.5 kilowatt per hectare within 2025 or within the 2 years of that one. And till this date, the mechanization level from all the agriculture sector, complete agriculture sector, the mechanization level is up to 40%, and that is mostly in the traction type of the system, or mechanization is carried out till this date under traction machinery, tractor, maybe the power tiller, maybe the harvester, etc. So we required the secure, clean, cheap, and timely assured power. And one more knocking the door, that is there is a end night for the diesel engine. agriculture, which is mostly depend upon the diesel engine, now they are shifting from diesel to the electricity. And within the 10 year, within the decade, it is estimated that the electricity share in agriculture will be increased from 27% to the 40% within the next decade, because electrical machines will have, which are very suitable for the various operation in a agriculture, and as compared to the electrical diesel engine which is having a low kilowatt per kg and emitting the greenhouse gases, the electrical machines are very much suitable for the farm operation, that is the lightweight machine. Future electrical traction machines are on the doorstep, and all the post harvest machineries and control can be done with the electrical machine rather than the diesel engine. And one foot behind to introduce the electrical traction machine also in the agriculture, John Deere, Escort, Solar-Agri, New Holland, Atonext are the few to step behind. And yes, Indian agriculture is shifting from diesel to the electricity, and the future is electricity in the farm. Because we required in the next decade only, we required more and more electricity for the various operations in the agriculture. But who will supply that one? Any of the your DISCOM, might be in Tamil Nadu, might be in Maharashtra, all in all state of the country, the DISCOMs are now they are in a blood position. They are very much under pressure because of the subsidy, theft, unmetering, and they are unable to supply the electricity. And if we required within the 10 decade, if we required a 40% of our electricity share will be get increased, we need 7 times more of the total figure in the agriculture. And we know that 69% is from fossil fuel. There is an average shortfall of 11% is in the electricity supply in all the sector. And we know that, or it is reported that the agriculture consumes 18% of the electricity with contribution of the 5% of the GDP only. And demand will be double in the next year. And the government is also having a Niti panel recommendation, is also having a power subsidy to reduce the power subsidy of 90,000 CR per year. And they are now in the trend that one has to pay yourself. The current subsidy of per hectare, government is already under burden, DISCOM is already under burden, and we require more and more power. And it has a two pronged challenges. The first one is uninterrupted electricity supply during the daytime to the farmer, daytime to the agro industry, daytime to the machinery operation, and second, to prevent the rising demand from agriculture to bleed the DISCOM further. I hope I am clearly audible as well as visible to you all.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, sir. So if this is the situation, what will be the option with us, and the option of the fuels in the future, that is staying big or getting smaller. If we look at the previous last 50-60 year scenario of the power supply, there are comparison between two. That is either it is a yesterday's one, that is the few large power plants are installed for the production. Centralized and mostly national grids are utilized for the market purpose. Based on the large power lines and pipeline, that is the transmission, which constitute around 29% of the transmission and distribution losses, and it is from top to bottom, from the central power plant to the consumer, and the consumers are only passive only, and they are only paying for the electricity. As compared to this one, the new model which is coming into the tomorrow's picture, that is the production is from the many small power producer, maybe at the decentralized level. The market will be decentralized and ignoring the boundaries. Transmission will include the small scale transmission and regional supply compensation. Distribution is from the both direction, right from the consumer to the producer and producer to the consumer, and consumer is always active and participating in the system. So this will be the tomorrow's picture, and to match this one, we have to go for the source which satisfied all these tomorrow's need as well as to overcome our challenges. And solar energy in India, particularly in a tropical and temperate region, that is solar energies can be a option for this one. I'm not saying this is the only one option. There are number of options are available. Sometime maybe the hydro, sometime maybe the wind. There may be a biomass energy depending upon location to location. But solar energy, which is available throughout the mostly throughout the year in a country, excluding of the small pockets in a coastal region. It is available throughout the country, available throughout the year also, and very good intensity is available there. Only 10% out of 5,000 trillion watt hour per year can solve this problem forever. Government policies are supporting to increase its share from current 44,000 megawatt, that is the 14% of the total power basket of India, to the 1,75,000 megawatt till 22. It was increased up to 25, and that is around 2 lakh megawatt. Solar PV energy can be long been a beacon of the Indian energy transition. This is the one of the source for the transition of yesterday's scenario to the tomorrow's scenario. Coming to the technical part, which we the student get to know about the before going for the utilization of the solar energy, that is the solar photovoltaic, discovered in long back in 1839, that is by Edmund Becquerel. Photovoltaic effect as an electromotive force as a result of absorption of ionizing radiation, and device to convert the light to electricity, we called it as a solar cell. A semiconductor junction, which is already might be covered in your during your graduation syllabus, or in a coming season semester, you can cover this one. That is the most normal configuration of the solar cell to make a PN junction. One has to read before going for the utilization of the solar photovoltaic in a proper way. One has to go into the what is mean by semiconductor, N type of material, P type of material, what will be the Fermi level of that one, Fermi level of the semiconductor material, and how it is utilizing or how it is converting the light into the electricity. If we look at the panel, the maximum power output of the produce of voltage at maximum power point and the current at the maximum power point, that is gives you P max into the voltage, maximum power point voltage, and multiplied by the maximum point current of that panel. Particularly solar panel, when it is examined, that is examined in terms of the maximum power output as well as the efficiency. Efficiency is divided by the maximum power which is given by the panel divided by the what will be the amount of solar intensity over the panel. And that on an average it is observed that 1 square meter of a fixed array keep the facing south, particularly India, we are in northern hemisphere, and we are keeping our solar panel in a southward direction at an angle of latitude of that particular place. And when it is fixed, it will yield around 0.5 kilowatt of electrical energy from 1 meter square. So as a thumb rule, if I required 1 kWh of the electricity, at least I required a 2 square meter of the space in a clear normal sunny days. The output can be increased by 30% if it is a track. It may be a single tracking, it may be a double tracking, it may be a seasonal tracking. If it is a tracking is there, it is around increase the 30% of the output of the panel. If we look at the opportunities in the industries, it was observed that the PV industry, photovoltaic industries has been doubling in 2 years. From in the last 2 decades, it is doubling in every 2 years, and a huge potential is there. Rest of the world has direct increases its share. Initially, the United States, Europe, and Japan are the major player, but rest of the world, in which the China and India are the major player in the utilization of a photovoltaic panel, and they are drastically increased within the last 1 decade, and it's doubling into every 2 years. And not only in the domestic sector, industrial sector, it is more penetrating in agriculture. It is widely adoptive, and there are variety of applications are available in the agriculture sector for the solar photovoltaic. One has to choose the appropriate application, integration of the system, and utilization of the solar energy for that one. There are number of types of the solar cells are available in the market: crystalline, silicon, monocrystalline, multicrystalline, or river type. Nowadays, a thin film, that is the cadmium telluride, copper indium, amorphous silicon, organic solar cells are available. There are three generations of the solar cell are there. In a first generation, mostly the silicon vapors are used. Second generation, that is the thin film solar cells are in the market. Whereas in the third generation, it may be a concentrating type, that is the refractive or reflective type, or multi-junction third to fifth or silicon concentrating type solar cells are used. Efficiency has been increased from 8% to 42%, and energy cost is reduced from ₹40 per unit to the 3.5 rupees per unit, which is quite compatible with the coal-based power plant, thermal power plant, as well as from the gas-based power plant. The unit cost is only 3.5 rupees per unit, which does not have a distribution or distortion into the ecological system. No pollution is there. There is no huge investment is required like a power plant, and there is no migration of the people from affected area to the city area if we utilize a solar PV at the cost of 3.5 rupees per unit. And most importantly, it is a decentralized one. Government is facilitating in a two-way production. We cannot privately a person who is interested to install a bigger power plant of megawatt or 4 megawatt by based on the coal or hydro, it is not possible for him. But for solar, everyone can participate into that one for the generation of the electricity, maybe for the own utilization or maybe for the selling to the government also. So if we look at the different type of solar panel and their efficiencies, you might be observed from this one, the efficiency, how it is increases up to 44%. And multi-junction concentrating type of solar cell, that is these are the manufacturer, and around 44% of efficiency is achieved, right from 4%, 2% to the 44%. So now photovoltaic panels, they are on the verge of increasing of the efficiency as well as reduction in the cost because of the different type of the material. We know that the solar panel is a temperature coefficient and it affects the output. If the temperature varies by 30 degrees centigrade, this translates to the relative change in the performance from 6% to the 15%. Solar photovoltaic panel is best utilized. His efficiency is maximum as 27.2%, 2 degrees centigrade. As the temperature of panel increases, the efficiency of the panel goes on reduction. So one has to keep into the mind while utilizing the solar panel, one should ensure that there should be a clear solar radiation on the panel, but the temperature of panel should not be get increased beyond 30-35 degrees centigrade so that it will not reduce the efficiency of the solar panel. There are various ways to increase the efficiency of the solar panel, and one of the three ways are now is utilized, or people are working on that one to reduce the cost, of further reduction in the cost of the solar photovoltaic system. And the first one is semiconductor material. Utilization of a monocrystalline, multicrystalline or ribbon or silicon or thin films solar cell, it can reduce the cost. Area related the cost, that is the glass installation, real estate and wiring. People are working on this one also, that is the good quality of the glass. Installation cost should be get reduced. Real estate, that is the space requirement as well as the electrical wiring cost is to be reduced. And the third one is power related cost. The people are also working on the inverter, a suitable inverter for the solar energy with minimum capacity of the battery as well as the good efficiency of the inverter. So these are the three areas where one can work as a R&D section or as well as for the production section to reduce the cost of the solar photovoltaic panel or solar photovoltaic system by increasing the efficiency of the system. These are the two type of the concentrating approaches which are used for the increase of the efficiency and reduction of the cost. That is the high concentration, that is the concentration of radiation on the smaller area, that is 35 to 40% of the reduction in a area of the concentration of the solar panel, and low concentration, there is 15 to 25% of the silicon cell is used, and the solar radiation are get concentrated on a smaller area, and then that concentrated radiation will convert higher amount of the energy into the electricity. One more recent development is the bifacial solar panel, also utilizing for the higher amount of energy. It will produce the electricity in a both the way, directly from the direct sunlight as well as reflected sunlight from the bottom side. So it is a two-way bifacial solar panel that are used, and that panels can be generate the electricity from both the way. Then photovoltaic panels or PN junction are installed on both the side of the panel, so that it will reduce the cost as well as it will increase the output of the panel. These are the recent development, that a layer approach perovskite solar cell are also used in that one, transparent solar cell, then so that the solar photovoltaic panel can be utilized for the different application where light intensity is required inside the roof of the system, like agrovoltaic as well as the greenhouse, etc., as well as in the building where the day lighting is also required as well as the electricity also generation is required. And for that purpose, the perovskite solar cells are nowadays, they are coming into the picture. Looking towards the application, solar photovoltaic can be used in a different application. Once the electricity is generated, one has to convert into DC. Solar photovoltaic panel convert the solar radiation into electricity, and that is in the form of direct current. One has to either there are requirement of the machinery which is the DC operated machinery, or we required such an inverter which convert efficiently direct current into the alternating current, and that inverter, that alternating current can be used for the different applications. Some of the applications which are listed here, that is solar pumping system, mobile charging, solar lanterns, sprayer, winnower, cream separators are there, hydroponic unit, solar signal light, warning system, CCTVs, and many more in agriculture. Number of operations are available in agriculture sector, right from your winnower to the thresher, right from grass cutter to the sprayer. Number of applications one can utilize the solar photovoltaic panel. Basically, the solar photovoltaic systems are classified in 4 ways. Either it is a direct utilization. There is a panel and the appliances is directly connected to the solar panel, that we call it as a direct utilization of that one. Second classification is the standalone system, which is not connected to any of the grid, which is not connected to the any of the one can say alternative solution, maybe the diesel engine, maybe the MSAB. That is the standalone system, which is a smaller one, and that is utilized up to 2 kilowatt to 3 kilowatt. That is the domestic, agriculture, as well as the hospital. One more classification is there, either it is a off grid or either it is a on grid. Under off grid, either it is a standalone, that means only solar panel it is utilized, or there is a hybrid system. Sometimes there may be an area where sunlight as well as the wind velocity is also available. The solar wind combination, that may be the hybrid system. Solar and hydro combination, that may be the hybrid system. Solar or diesel generator, that may be the hybrid system. But if it is not connected to any supply grid, then they comes under off-grid system. And the fourth one is on-grid system. Under this one, whatever the solar photovoltaic panel generate the electricity, excess electricity can be supplied to the grid so that it can be utilized for the another section. And that is rooftop system, solar PV power plants, which are mostly installed in India, larger capacity solar power plant. They are on-grid type of system. They will generate the electricity at one place and they get distributed through the regular grid to the different consumers. If it is look at the system, the on-grid system and off-grid system. Under off-grid system, the solar PV panel are stand-alone, which is not connected to any of the grid, and then genset. Sometimes if it is a hybrid system, the generator sets can be used during the rainy season or during the cloudy season, and the battery bank is mostly utilized in a standalone system, in an off-grid system, because of the during the off period, and then it goes for the transmission of the distribution of the light. Whereas if it is a on-grid system, the solar photovoltaic panels are or power plant is installed somewhere else and it is connected through the grid, and then that grid will supply to the either building, to the industry, or any other utilization. If it is look at the picture, that is off-grid and on-grid, both the systems are utilizing here, where if it is a on-grid, it is a both way, it is supplied to the grid. If it is off grid, directly solar panels are utilized only into the house through the inverter, and there is no connection with this electricity to the grid or utility services. I hope still I am audible and clear to you.
Very clear and excellent voice as well as presentation quality, sir.
Thank you, sir. So looking toward the application, these are the proven solar system in the field of agriculture. For water pumping, 1,000 of water pumping systems are given by the government subsidies. Sprayers are available, number of manufacturers are available in the sprayer market, solar sprayer market. But till this date, there is a solar fencing system is also one of the system which is a proven system, and these are installed by the many of the farmers. Solar pumping system, there is a one peculiar, my observation is that government is heavily subsidizing the solar photovoltaic system, and they are in the range of 5 kilowatt, 7 kilowatt and 10 kilowatt. Might be 7 kilowatt, 10 kilowatt or 5 kilowatt system may not be suitable for the small and marginal farmers. But what I observe is the supply of the solar photovoltaic system, the agriculture engineer which is necessary for that one to estimate the water requirement of the crop, to estimate the size of the pump which is appropriate for the crop cultivation of that farmer, and then depending upon the water requirement and the crop, what will be the suitable size of the solar photovoltaic pump he required. For that purpose, there is no agriculture engineer is working, or maybe there might be some few people are working in that one. But this is the sector, a huge number of solar photovoltaic manufacturing or supplying suppliers are working in the country. They are, as a mediator, they are working in a government as well as the farmer. Government is giving the subsidy, heavy subsidy for the solar photovoltaic pump, PV pump, and supplier and manufacturer work is only to identify a farmer, convince him for the 5-10% of the contribution, and whatever the as per the norms, whatever the 7 HP, 10 HP or 5 HP pump should be get installed into the farmer's field. In that connection, no mediator or no supplier or no engineer from the manufacturer or from the government is not estimating what will be the cropping pattern, what will be the water availability, what will be the water table, depletion of the water, excessive lifting of the water, and what will be the actual requirement of the panel, what will be the actual requirement of the crop and actual requirement of the field. How much HP of the pump is to be required for the farmer, and because it is available in a 5 HP or 7 HP, they are simply giving you and that gives you the adverse effect to the system, because as soon as the SPV pump is installed, it will start operating from 9 o'clock to the 4 o'clock or 4:30, 5 o'clock, depending upon situation, location to location, and throughout the day there is no option is available that one can utilize the excessive water for the other larger field, as well as how to control that solar panel or solar pump from the excessive lifting of the water. So here this is my personal view that agriculture engineer has a very much important role in this sector, that estimation of an appropriate size of the pump, and that size of the pump should be only suggested to the farmer and insisted to the manufacturer that this farmer required only 3 HP, 2 HP, or it may be a 5 HP pump. This is the sector which these are the proven technologies in the photovoltaic panel, particularly in agriculture. The recent solar PV energy utilization, that is the building integrated photovoltaic system. Perovskite solar panel or the flexible solar panel nowadays can be molded into the different shape, and because of that one, they are available in different color. They are available in a transparent nature also, and because of that one, the building integrated photovoltaic technologies has a wide application. A transparent system, it can be used in a greenhouse also, it can be used in a building also, it is available in a color shade also, conventional building can be utilized, applications, wider application is possible if it is a building integrated photovoltaic systems. This is also one of the sector in which agriculture engineer can play a role into the agriculture, particularly for the agriculture application, by using the perovskite solar cell as well as the thin film or flexible solar cells in the market. Nowadays, the third criteria or third recent development in the application is Solar-Agri Feeder. That is the micro power plant installed and managed by DISCOM itself to transmit the energy to the farmers only or the farm only. Because the farmer, those who are getting a subsidized electricity, and because they are not the payment of the to the DISCOM is not regular one, and many times there may be a political issue to wipe off the electricity bill of the farmer. Because of that one, the industries are facing the problem of the cross subsidy. DISCOM will cover this amount of the free to the farmer is from either from the industry or either from the domestic consumer. And to avoid that one, a government of Maharashtra, that is the CM Saur Vahini Yojana, that is solar transmission line scheme, and that comes under Solar-Agri Feeder system. It is nothing but a barren land of a group of the farmer, installation of 1 to 10 megawatt community solar power plant within their vicinity. It is linked to the 11 kV substation and the feeder, and that electricity, whatever the electricity is generated from that 10 megawatt or 5 megawatt or 1 megawatt, that is given supplied only for the farmers within that vicinity, and it is useful to supply the heavy machineries also as well as the electrical machineries also. And it can be, it was observed that it can power around 350 pumps, 5 HP electrical pumps with this system, and it will elevate around 26 million tons of the greenhouse gases, and it provides uninterrupted electricity for 8 to 10 hours during the daytime. This is the scheme which is already launched from last 2 years by the government of Maharashtra, and government of Maharashtra giving the 30,000 rupees per hectare for the barren land as a charges for the installation of the power plant in the barren field or the land of the farmers. This is one type of nowadays particularly for agriculture, how solar energy is penetrating. This is the one scheme. Second one is the transportable solar power pack. It was observed that excluding the mechanization of a farmer or mechanization of a farm, 40% is the mechanization level is the only, and 90% power is consumed for the traction machinery only. That is for the tractor, power tiller, or the combine harvester, or the harrower or reaper. But it is observed that excluding of the traction operations, whatever the power required for interculture operation, threshing operation, your spraying operation, primary processing, secondary processing, harvesting, etc., the farmer required hardly 0.5 to 3 kilowatt of the electricity, not more than that one. There is no thresher is available with a small, particularly I am saying this is for the small and marginal farmer. Small and marginal farmer required at the most 1 to 2 kilowatt of the HP machine for the operation of his field. And if it is a 1 to 2 kilowatt machine power is available at his source, then he is beneficial by using the electrical thresher or the might be a sprayer, might be a primary processing, might be a dryer, etc. And now the concept is coming is as a transportable solar pack having a TSPP, having a capacity, output capacity of 1 to 3 HP or 1 to 3 kilowatt, and that to AC. One has to carry this like a tractor trolley. One has to carry at the location of the utilization point, and then it is connected. Your farmer's thresher is connected to that one. After finishing of the thresher, with the help of this power pack, he will take out the thresher, and the transportable power pack can be transported from one place to the another places, and it has a very good potential of customer hiring tool. In Bihar, there is a one case study. 1 or 2 type of this solar power transportable power pack is already available in the market. Karnataka under I think Dharwad University is also working on that one. Here also at Dapoli also we develop a 2 kilowatt transportable solar power pack to operate around 7 appliances based on electricity. One more is the another application is Solar-Agri production system, that is the combination of the solar photovoltaic on the top and agriculture production at the bottom, and this is called, we called it as a agrovoltaic system. No extra land is required and 30 to 35% land cover will produce the sufficient to manage the rest of the system, and extra power can be stored or supplied to the feeder using net metering system for further gain. These are fourth one is the nowadays it is already commercially available a 5-ton capacity of the cold storage. This is also having a very good potential for the employment in the rural sector. Temperature range is around 2 to 4 degrees centigrade and 24/7 cold storage facility, and although it is transportable available in it is transportable and it can move from one place to another place. This is also a one of the good example of penetration of the solar energy photovoltaic energy in agriculture. Traction machine, battery operated e-tractor has been already launched. The solar charge or direct solar traction knocking the door in near future. More of the people are working on that one, and within the decade we can observe that the solar photovoltaic based or electricity based or the battery operated tractor charging on the solar photovoltaic panel, that can be also a picture within the next decade. Here also one can use the transportable solar power pack also. That can transportable solar power pack can be also converting having a facility of the charging, and it can charge the tractor battery, it can charge the battery operated appliances, it can charge the tractor traction machine, etc., etc. One more is for the domestic, that is the solar cooking, and robot is also working on the solar photovoltaic panel. A solar induction cooking, IIT Mumbai, I think Dr. Ismail sir might be knowing that one. The solar photovoltaic based induction cooking system is already available in the or it is in the R&D, and within the short period it will be available within the market. So right from domestic to the agriculture, everywhere the solar photovoltaic panel is penetrating, and solar photovoltaic panel will be the future power option within the next decade. Each and every sector, each and every operation is electrified, and that electricity need a constant power, reliable and secure power, and there are huge opportunity for the system integration for particularly for the BTech agriculture student engineers. And that system integration, wide utilization in agriculture and agro-based industry, there is a need to learn the basic electronics, system components and automation in that system. Rest of the part is already available in your syllabus. We know that the power is crucible. We are shifting from diesel, gas type of the system to the electricity, and sun will be the power for to meet this one. The future will be the sun, and for that purpose we need to be ready for the next futuristic this option. And for that purpose I am very much fond of Dr. Ismail sir. Whatever the recent topic, whatever the need of the student, that is the automation, system integration, control system, basic of the electronics to the agriculture engineers, so that they can compete very well in this sector. And this sector is open for you. Before, my humble request is that before someone entering in your field, you should be get prepared for that one by acquiring the basic knowledge, so that this field should be available for the agriculture engineer for the future. Thank you very much for the patience hearing. I put my rest my views. Questions are welcome regarding this one. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving.
I think first time I myself in the last 7 years listening to the most exhaustive report on solar application. I have one small request to you. I always ask, correct? So I'm asking you, make this as a small booklet for the students, because frankly speaking, you have put all the applications wonderfully, and especially your comments about pumping issues, each one of the ones which you told the advantages, disadvantages, what is the percentage of utilization, benefits. It's a information we don't get it. I don't think the students will be ever able to get it. You agree with me?
Yeah.
Loud you tell, na? Yes, sir. Okay. So now this information is not available. They are lucky. This as usual TNA student, I was lucky, so they are lucky. But I think I want the benefit to go. Probably I don't know if ISC can do or EEE also can do or somebody can put that in a book form. Maybe upgraded every few months to go. Especially students here, there are about 40 students, and they were hesitant first on solar energy. So the professor requested me 4 days back itself from Mumbai when I was there, get somebody to ask them questions about solar. They let them understand first what are the applications. Uh, I remember for masters when I started first, I started with solar refrigeration, solar energy for 2 terms. Then I switched to control system in AIT Bangkok. So I know solar energy is the need. And second option, what Dr. Atul told is your engineers, agriculture engineers are absent in the area till now. This is a great real problem. We also have problems like in polyhouses, agriculture engineers are absent. And many places, I would say, even some part of irrigation we are absent, but solar energy is an area because agriculture engineers are not there. It has been misused or whatever it is. The way it's implemented, misimplementation of the things because the technical expertise is not available. Thank you, Dr. Atul. I think students, I
Thank you,
ask you
sir.
if you have any question, please you can ask, please. Any questions? Yes, please. Wait a minute. There is a mic. I have somebody can help me to carry this mic. You can ask from there only. On करके it's not working. You try. Ah.
So you said that the temperature above 35 degrees Celsius, the efficiency will be reduced, no sir, for power production. If the temperature is above 35 degrees Celsius, the increase in temperature above that, the efficiency will be reduced. So until now, I thought that when the temperature is increased, the efficiency also will be increased. So that is a new thing for me. So why it is reduced, sir?
Yeah, I understand. Just basic principle of a semiconductor material. Semiconductor material become any of the silicon is a inert if it is a temperature positive temperature coefficient. If it is the temperature of the silicon or the semiconductor material increases, it reduces its property of a stability. And this is the basic behind the solar photovoltaic panel. If the temperature of the semiconductor material increases, like a conductor or like an insulator, in between that one there is a semiconductor, and semiconductor become a semiconductor if the temperature is remain same for that one. And so the silicon, which is the basic material, is having a valency of 4 in its outer periphery, and because of that one, the silicon material will be stable if the temperature is remain within the temperature of 25 to 35 degrees centigrade. As soon as the temperature of a semiconductor, any semiconductor material increases, it will change its electrical property and it try to be converted into a conductor. And if the semiconductor material is converted into conductor, it will reduces its electrical transmittivity, and because of that one, the temperature of the semiconductor if it is increased, there is a reduction in the output of the solar photovoltaic panel.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
I want to add